Hello hockey fans, my name is David. Thought I would start this video at 11:16 on the evening of Tuesday, 22nd of November 2022 North American Eastern Time. Thought I would do is going into for what the lessons the Leafs can learn from their own loss in overtime to the Islanders, and what they can take into what the Leafs can take down to the Prudential Center in the state of New Jersey in playing the local Devils. Well, first I'm going to present the standings after taking into account games that already ended. Just going to get over to here. Just give me a moment here. So I'm going to go with Canadian teams. The Leafs are in second in the Atlantic Division. The Habs, after a regulation loss to the Buffalo Sabres, are sixth behind the Bruins, Leafs, Lightning, Wings, and Panthers. But ahead of the Sabres and Senators. As of now, the Senators remain 9 points back of the nearest available relevant playoff spot, but although qualifying for the playoffs doesn't look very good. Indeed, it's the worst. The furthest away from a wild card spot, as any Canadian team not a playoff spot is. The Habs are 3 points out, whereas, just going to see here, 25 over 20, 25 points, 20 games. The Jets have 23 over 17. So Leafs played more games and have just 2 more points than the Jets. So hence, the Jets have room they can make up. They're third in the Atlantic, which is pretty good, after a crucial overtime win against the Hurricanes. And when it comes to teams that they are, well, Jets have to watch out for the Blues, although it is advantageous that the Jets have played no more games. Have played the fewest games, tied with the Coyotes, among intra-divisional rivals, within the Central Division. So that's important. So the Jets can ride up the table and stay up. So that's very, very good. Of course, got to watch for the Blues, which have a Blue squad that has almost kept pace. So let's see what teams have dropped down. The Canucks have definitely dropped down. Well, he's not exactly there. But you look at the Oilers. Wow. So there's an interesting article posted on the Sportsnet page about playing against teams like the Devils. For the Oilers had not worked out. So I'm going to post that a little bit later as soon as I can. But what I would do first is present the scores from Monday. Well, there was definitely a blowout loss of the Habs by the Sabres, snapping the Western New York team's multi-game losing streak. Yeah, the Habs just went, the defense is just not there. It's rebuild time. So I'm going to go to the scoreboard. So I'm going to go in terms of, try to go in as much of an order as possible. In terms of when the game concluded among Canadian teams. Not going to be the easiest, but maybe I'll just do is start with a regulation win by the a regulation win by the Jets. Well, I'm just going to go on to the Sportsnet page for the scoreboard for Monday Eastern Time. These games that began on that. So what I'm going to do is go to the Jets. So all the games available. Alright, so we're going to go to... So, Dave Riddick backing up Hellebuck. So we're going to go to the goals in that game. It was a blown lead by the Jets. So with Pierre-Luc Dubois at the 18:34 mark of the first period, assisted by Wheeler and Perfetti. Mike Esmond, 6:44 in the second period, into the second period, assisted by David Gustafsson and Jansen Harkins. Third period was where the wheels almost fell off. The bus, the Jets airplane. Josh Morrissey, a bit under 4 minutes into the third, assisted by Wheeler and Dubois, put the Jets up 3-0. But were the Canes going to quit? Nope. They sure didn't. So, at the 15-12 mark, by Jakub Slavin from Andrei Sveshikov and Sebastian Aho. 16:52 mark by Andrei Sveshikov, assisted by Brett Burns and, yes, Aho. And then 19:21 mark, Martin Necas, assisted by Aho and Seth Jarvis, to extend the game to overtime. Josh Morrissey, as he had in the previous period, came up big. This time assisted only by Dubois. 2:10 mark. I like the Sportsnet some reads for penalties and all, because at least for penalties, because I don't have to, what's that, scroll through. Okay, when were the penalties? I like that. I'm just going to show that now. Just going to see. There. When you look at this Sportsnet, you look at the penalties there. That's what they were, and who they were against, and what they were for. So it's not usual for there to be a major, unless it's a fighting major. For a person to be ejected, for a player to be ejected. It's not every game that it occurs, and I don't think it occurred in any of the games. But I'm gonna go. So that was a huge. Leafs had tremendous problems in overtime, and almost 4 minutes in, the Leafs ended up, and in response to this, game over Toronto video, it's a lack of execution in overtime, and it's the Leafs end up losing. So we're going to see about the Flames against the Philadelphia Flyers. So Markstrom started for the Flames, Carter Hart for the Flyers. So scoring in the first period, Huberdeau and Dubé got the Flames on the board. That's not what happened with the Leafs. Leafs team that scored in the second, but then it was after 2, it was 3-1. Just imagine if the Leafs had a 2-goal lead at any point in that game against Ilya Sorokin. So in response to various comments, in response to post-game reaction, Leafs and Islanders, in terms of this, what I did is I tried to this is basically what happened here, and said this guy named Josh who claimed that they played great. Well, you know what, Josh? Sorry. Look at this. Look at this comment by Johnny. A man named Johnny. A microcosm. It's just when the games are tight, the Leafs do not do well. That is the problem. That's the problem with the Leafs. When the going gets tough, they don't find ways to win games. The Leafs did get a point, and it was rather important that they did. But again, they're going to have to string some wins together. Whether the Leafs can do that, we shall see. But the Flames sure did. I mean, when it was 3-2, look at what happened. It was 3-2. The Flames tightened up their D, or at least they made real damn sure that the Flyers weren't going to come back. And late in the game, Blake Coleman, unassisted, and Trevor Lewis, assisted by D-man Chris Tanev, and a forward named Milan Lucic, put their team ahead for good. 2 insurance markers, really good that the Flames did. Flames got a crucial point, and are in a wild card spot. Well, Blues the second wild card spot, tied with the Blues. So now to do is go to. All right, just gonna do. So where do we go in all these games here? So I went to a Leaf game, and there's no doubt, I observed that Shalgren, I went with my dad, who claimed that the second goal that Shalgren had given up, the Swedish goalie had been too far in the net. I reviewed the play, and it looked to be an ugly goal. But yet, Shalgren's teammates didn't give him really enough margin for error, because the Leafs were only ever ahead by 1 goal at a time. It's been a prominent problem. The goal ought to be ahead by at least 2 goals with 5 minutes to go in the game, ideally by the second intermission. That did not happen. Instead, the bottom six forwards for the Leafs all went cold. Not a point from any of them. And that fault lies on Kyle Dubas, endorsed by a Brendud of a GM via Brendan Shanahan. That's been the problem. 2 high cap hits for each of Tavares, Matthews, and Marner, $10.9 million US per season each at a minimum, rather than $4 million US per season. $4 million, even at $5 million US per season, which is what the Oilers gave Jack Campbell, would have meant much more cap space to add depth pieces. Let's look what happened Game 7 of last spring's Bolts-Leafs series. What happened? Nick Paul, a bottom 6 forward for the Tampa Bay Lightning, did the Leafs in, scoring 2 goals in that game. 2 goals by Nick Paul. Leafs season was dead. The game was close, but once again, the Leafs failed to score more than a goal at a time. More than a goal. I believe that during the Matthews era, the Leafs have scored at least 2 goals in any given winner-take-all game just once. I believe that was a 7-4 loss to the Bruins. So you got to wonder. 2-1, and a very little margin for error. Too little, in fact. Certainly, the Sens were blown out by the Sharks. So yeah, but yeah, Leafs defense has been the best in the world, but again, giving up 5 goals it's no good. The Canucks were ahead 4-2 in the third period, and then wheels fell off the bus, and in regulation, the initial attempt to score a 5th goal by the Golden Knights was torpedoed. There was kind of some camera lens that fell off, and yeah, it looked to be that there was black around the edge of the circle, a circle in black, but nothing in the middle. A puck is all black and thick. Kind of maybe a little like thick, this thin. But the 5th goal, the actual 5th goal the Golden Knights scored that wasn't waved off, did count because it was a puck. No camera piece, no wheel or anything like that. Just a legitimate puck that went in, and it was game over. So, now we get to the Oilers and, how badly they performed. Well, I'll get to that in a follow-up video, because this video is getting quite a little bit long. Anyway, go Leafs go.